So, very good evening to all of you. After successfully completing the Moneran part of Five Kingdom classification, today we will go to the second kingdom and look into their characteristics and the different examples, the special features of those organisms. In short, we are going to talk about the second kingdom that is called Protista. Okay. So, this kingdom Protista is another diverse kingdom. Also, all organisms of kingdom Protista are eukaryotic, but all of them are multicellular. But Protista can also be equipped with all types of special characters, and it can be having any of the properties like being autotrophic, heterotrophic, it can go for sexual, asexual. So in this case also diverse range of characters are visible. As I told you already that they should be unicellular, no multicellular organisms are part of Protista. Apart from that, they are called protist because protist, it is meaning itself is saying how primitive they can be. Like almost 1.5 billion years ago, they were predominating the earth, and the meaning of protist itself is very first. So after Monera, the one which is dominating the world was protist. They can be parasitic, they can be autotrophic, they can be heterotrophic, but mostly they are aquatic because I told you there is a very good relationship between evolution and classification. They go hand in hand. So once life was created on water. So obviously, Protista were the better version, or I should not use this word better. It is the advanced version of Monera. So obviously, they will be also aquatic. Okay. So they are membrane mound organelle and nucleus is present in them. They have various modes of locomotion. They can move via flagella. They can move via cilia. They can move via pseudopodia. And let me tell you, some of them can be non-motile also. They do not move. They do not have any of these processes for their movement. They can reproduce asexually and sexually, and they can be considered as a connecting link between Monera and other three core kingdoms. Why? Because in Protista, you can find, this is the way, there can be plant-like Protistas which can be autotrophic and act as a phytoplankton. What do we mean by phytoplankton? Plankton is something which is floating on the surface of water. And if it is similar to plant, we call them phytoplankton. If it is similar to animal, we call them zooplankton. So you can see Protista can be plant-like autotrophic. They can be animal-like, that means heterotrophic without cell wall. And they can be fungus-like protist, which can be heterotrophic. And they can be decomposer-like side nodes. So that's why it is imagined कि Monera के बाद Protista से फिर the bifurcation of other three kingdom, that is plant, animal and fungus was there. That's why they are called connecting link. So now we will learn about each and every types of proteins. So first we are going to discuss about the plant-like proteins. So in plant-like proteins, the first type is called euglenoids. Actually, the much talked about organism of this group is Euglena, and organisms which are similar to Euglena are put into this group. Now, as you can see, they are plant-like, so obviously they will be autotrophic. Plant के साथ इनकी similarity यही है कि they are autotrophic. So in them, they lack like cell wall. But they produce the food, but they do not necessarily will always have the cell wall. So in place of cell wall, they have a flexible sheet made up of protein, and this sheet is called pellicle. They live in fresh water. They generally are autotroph in presence of light, but in absence of light, they do not die. They at that time can act as a heterotroph, and they can live by killing or predating other animals. Small microscopic animals are there. They can eat up the organisms smaller than them. Those are mainly monerans, and they can survive. They can have one or two flagella, and these flagella are unequal in their size. As you can understand, they need to survive by photosynthesis. So that is why eye spot is there. So what is this eye spot? Eye spot is sensitive towards light. It is located at the base of flagella. So this eye spot has astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is a photosensitive pigment. This pigment will tell this organism that light is there or not. If it is there, what is the intensity? From which direction light is coming, so that it can move towards the light. They have chloroplast present in them. They have contractile vacuole present in them for osmoregulation. What do we mean by this word osmoregulation? Class?
Ma'am,
Yes.
regulation of water content.
It is partially correct, beta. Two things are controlled by osmoregulation, not only order.
Ma'am, salt and water.
Salt and water. That means rather to say electrolyte balance. That means the balance of the ions in the body as well as the we need to maintain the amount of water also. So how contractile vacuole help in that? Have you studied the excretion process of amoeba in lower grades?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what happens over there? One small vacuole is there like this. If I draw the diagram, you can see this vacuole will move towards the cell membrane from inside to outside, and then it will fuse with the cell membrane like this, and then it will throw out the substances outside, isn't it? So these vacuoles are known as contractile vacuole, and they can be used for the purpose of osmoregulation. So these organisms store the food in the form of paramylon body or in the form of starch. Binary fission and cyst formation is the method of asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction is totally absent in them. They don't reproduce sexually generally, but in some organisms there are sexual reproduction. Next is chrysophytes. This group includes diatom and golden algae. Now in your textbook, beta, the least was said by golden algae, but I thought I should show you at least the picture. That's why in this PPT I added up the information about golden algae. So diatoms and golden algae, how they are similar to each other and what is the difference? Both of them are found in freshwater as well as marine environment. Both of them are photosynthetic. And let me tell you, they are the chief producer of ocean. That means हमारे वर्ल्ड में जितनी फोटोसिंथेसिस होती है और जितना कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड फिक्सेशन होता है उसका 80% ऑफ इट इज डन बाय दीज ऑर्गेनिजम्स. So they are the major contributor in carbon dioxide fixation. Okay, so before polluting sea, And before decreasing their population, we need to understand that we make a lot of hue and cry about cutting trees. हम बोलते हैं कि air का purify होना बंद हो जाएगा. So before we spoil and put our garbage in the sea, which is not at all allowed. You know, अगर कोई sheep, if it is traveling across water, international or national water, they need to collect their garbage and they don't have rights to dispose it in the sea. So all because we don't want to lose these chief producers of the ocean. So diatoms can be phytoplankton who are floating at the surface, or maybe like bottom dweller, which are called benthus. They are attached to some kind of substratum and present below the water, or they may grow in moist soil also. So the cells of diatoms are called fistules. The cell wall is having two types of shell, which is having a soapbox like structure. Soapbox हम सब ने देखा है, उसमें दो ऐसे unequal size के lids होते हैं, है ना? So that one can fit into another. Class?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
तो इनकी
Yes,
cell wall भी ऐसी होती है. They have सिलिका प्रेजेंट इन द सेल. सिलिका सैंड में भी रहता है, और आपको पता है अगर सैंड में हम गिर जाए तो हमारी बॉडी को कितनी चोट पहुंचती है. कांच के टुकड़े जैसे होते हैं वो. सो दो सिलिकास आर एम्बेडेड, लाइक दे आर present all over the cell wall, so which make their cell wall almost indestructible. That means समझो एक डायटम की कॉलोनी है, वहाँ बहुत सारे डायटम्स रहते थे. Once they die, their cell get deposited and form a stone-like structure called diatomaceous earth. And this diatomaceous earth is created over billions of years. Okay. And ये due to presence of silica, they have a gritty appearance. Gritty मतलब खुरदरे होते हैं उसके surface. That's why they can be used for polishing something. They can be used for filtration of something. Diatomaceous earth कई बार हीटर के coils के चारों बाजू लगाया जाता है as an insulating material. So this is how they even after their death, their cell wall is there and they form rock-like structure. So the major organelle for movement for them is flagella, but some of them show gliding movement. So what is this gliding movement? Gliding movement is somewhat, अगर आप अपने रूम के फ्लोर में oils डाल दो, you sit there and put a pressure with your body and you will see that you will move ahead. है ना? उसे हम बोलते हैं ग्लाइड करना. So that type of gliding movement is observed by these observed in these organisms. So I wish to show you. This is how they look. Different shapes of diatom. These are microscopic view, obviously, and they have chromatophore, obviously as a chloroplast. They have oil droplet and chrysolaminarin, which are storage food material. So they have both asexual and sexual. So this white structure you can see, this is nothing but diatomaceous earth. देखो कितने सारे diatoms की body जमा होके over the million of years it produced this type of thing. Okay, is this clear, this part, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
So we will talk here about desmid or golden algae. So this is the golden algae cell, and the difference only is marked over here that diatoms have silica in their cell wall and they have chloroplast of yellowish brown color, whereas desmid or green algae have cellulose and pectin in their cell wall and their chloroplastids are green. So we already talked about diatom, we talked about euglenoids. The third plant-like protista we want to talk about is dinoflagellate. Okay, so these organisms are majorly marine and they are majorly photosynthetic. But rarely a few of them can be heterotrophic too. So you can see how beautiful the changes are in every like type of organisms or class of organism. Some part which is additionally added in those parts. Okay, for example, in case of euglenoids, depending on situation, they can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. Diatoms are always autotrophic, whereas dinoflagellates, some of them are autotrophic and very rarely, but some of them are heterotrophic too. So they have various color. Okay, they may be yellow, green, blue, red, brown. So it is all decided by the pigment they are present in their cell. And very interestingly, they can show bioluminescence also. Bioluminescence is something due to which property they glow in the dark. Okay, so it has cellulose plates. Now this is something very unique character. Generally, plant cell wall is also made up of cellulose. But what is unique over here? Have you seen the armor of warriors? आर्मर मतलब जो कवच पहन के वो युद्ध में जाते हैं. It has plates like this which are connected with each other via like chains. So why it is prepared like this? Why generally people do not prefer the solid metal armor? Because if you are wearing a small solid metal armor, first of all, its weight will be too much. Second of all, it will not give you the flexibility. So similar way, small cellulose plates are there, which are forming the cell wall of these organisms. It's not a continuous structure. It is composed of small plates of the cell wall. Okay, so why they are called dinoflagellate? Because they have always two flagella. Actually, one is longitudinally present, other is transversely present, and they are present between the furrow of the cell plate. मतलब समझो ये एक cell plate है, ये दूसरा cell plate है, दोनों के बीच का जो gap है उसमें से ये flagella ऐसे निकल रहा है. Okay, and why they are in the furrow? Because when they move, they will show you the clockwise or anti-clockwise movement. So it requires some kind of space to move. That's why it is located between the two furrow of two cell wall. It is having movement like a corkscrew. आपने grade 10 में magnetism में corkscrew rule तो पढ़ा होगा. Corkscrew rule. Okay, corkscrew is the instrument through which we can generally use the wine bottle. एक screw जैसा structure होता है, ऊपर handle रहता है. When you twist it, the screw will enter into the wine bottle. Similar type, or better example I can give you is the propeller of a speedboat. Propeller जैसे गोल घूमता है तो it will create a what I can say reaction force due to which the boat moves ahead. Same kind of movement is observed in this case. Now there are red dinoflagellates. I told you when I was teaching you that some of them may be poisonous also. For example, this red dinoflagellate, which is called Goniolix, it is sometimes multiplying rapidly in the sea to create a zone of sea into a red tide area. So, जैसे कि red algae होते हैं, you will talk about red tide also, red sea also in like next slides. This is called red tide because the toxin secreted by them is very toxic, and any animal coming in contact to that red tide area will get in contact with that toxin and they will immediately die. Even if human being is going there, if it is getting in contact with the body of human being, like human being will also die. So this is something generally the experienced people know and they try to avoid it. So the reserve food material is starch and oil. So they have specialized osmoregulatory organelle called piscule, and there is formation of zoospore and cyst. What is this zoospore? The motile spores are called zoospore, and cysts are small cells produced by multiple fission. So during favorable condition, they want to reproduce maximum, because in unfavorable condition there are chances of death. So at that time, these cysts are produced, which are produced by multiple fission, and these cells are very smaller as compared with the like other cells. Sexual reproduction is present in them. So now we will talk like about the animal like protist. But before I move ahead, I wish to ask you if you have any doubts. So next are organisms which we call protozoa. Why we call them protozoa? Because zoa means animal and proto means primitive. So these protists are like organisms which is the connecting link between Monera and Animalia, because they have some properties similar to Protista and some to Animalia. Okay, that's why they are called protozoa. Now, protozoa are always heterotrophic. They are never ever autotrophic. They can be predators or parasites. Okay, their body is having pellicle or they may have silica shells, but they will never ever have the cell. Okay, four major groups of protozoas are there. We classify them depending on what locomotory organelle they use. If they are using flagella, we call them zooflagellates. If they are using pseudopodia for their movement, I guess you all of you know about what is pseudopodia or false feet. Have you ever heard about it?
Yes, ma'am.
So what
It
is
is
it?
present in amoeba.
It is observed in amoeba. So cell membrane fold and unfold and to create temporary fit, that is called pseudopodia. So if they have pseudopodia as a locomotory organ, we call them sarcodines. If they have cilia, we call them ciliates. And if they are not having any kind of locomotory organelle, we call them sporozoa. So we will first talk about sarcodines. They are protozoa with false foot. So they have a cell membrane which fold to give you the food. And these pseudopodias not only help them in locomotion but help them to capture the food also. Okay, now whenever the food is very low in amount, some of them can develop flagella, but that is a temporary stage. Most of the time they use pseudopodia for their movement. They have a cell membrane generally, but in some rare cases they may have calcium or silica made shells present around their body. So asexual reproduction can be having binary fission, multiple fission or spore formation. Sexual reproduction can be present. Now we will be talking about a few protista who are like having some importance in our life. One of them is Entamoeba histolytica. Extremely sorry, it's a scientific name, so it should be underlined. So it is responsible for causing a disease called amoebiasis. Amoebiasis is a very common disease. If we are drinking contaminated water, the common dysentery, that is loose motion vomiting we have, that is caused by Entamoeba histolytica. Majorly, as it is eukaryotic, a filter of decent pore size is able to prevent you from this disease. Okay, so it is always suggested not to drink without boiled or filtered water. So this is the phase contrast microscopic image of amoeba. I know all of you have seen amoeba since your childhood, but I thought I should tell you how it looks in three-dimensional. So this is the part, and you can see these are the pseudopodias which are responsible for locomotion and track. So now we will talk about flagellated protozoa. We call them zooflagellates also. So for them, the locomotory organ and the part with which they catch the prey is flagella itself. They can have one or more nucleus, and the way these sarcodids are having shells around them, zooflagellates have a layer called pellicle around their body. Okay, now asexual reproduction, similarly by binary fission, sexual reproduction is there. These organisms can be either free living, or they can be parasitic, or they can be symbiotic too. Now, too many important organisms we should know. They are important to us because they are causing harm to us. So one of them is Trypanosoma, full name Trypanosoma gambiensis. This is a protozoa whose vector is a fly, very like typical name. It is Tsetse. So you can see here, it is Tsetse. Pronunciation is Tsetse, but T is silent. This disease is a disease found only in Africa. Thank God. So if this Tsetse fly is like biting any person, biting obviously not by teeth, they have the like bloodsucker part, and if that Tsetse fly is having trypanosoma in them, so a person will suffer from a disease called sleeping sickness. And now most of the time this name of disease is not seems to be like a disease. When I first time thought of it, मुझे लगा था कि यार ये तो क्या है, ये disease है. कुछ subjects की books हाथ में लेते ही वैसे भी नींद आती है. So am I suffering from sleeping sickness? No, it's not the normal sleeping we feel. जैसे लेट तक टीचर्स पढ़ाते हैं तो क्लास में कुछ बच्चे थोड़े थोड़े सो जाते हैं, आई गेस, आई एम नॉट श्योर, सो जाते हैं थोड़े बच्चे क्लास में. जो yes no नहीं बोलेंगे, they might be suffering from a variant of sleeping sickness.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
दो जन नहीं सो रहे, that means class.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No worries, I know all of you are listening to me properly. So this sleeping is not a normal sleeping, beta. Let me tell you, it is not funny also. People die due to this. That's why if you are going to that part of Africa where this disease is there, actually you need to get vaccinated for this disease. Okay. So what is this disease? In this, a person will feel weak, and that the person will have fever. He or she will feel like sleeping and such a sound sleep that it can convert into eternal sleep. Okay, and it is said कि Tsetse fly जब bite करता है ना, mosquito biting उसके आगे कुछ नहीं, it is so painful. Okay, so this is something we should be careful of, but thank God it is not found in India. Next is Giardia intentionalis. This is a disease. Yes, beta.
मैम ये फ्लाई का प्रोनाउंसिएशन आप एक बार फिर से बोलो ना.
Tsetse.
ओके मैम.
Tsetse, सिर्फ ये T silent होता है. Now this Giardia intestinalis, it is also another zooflagellate present in contaminated water or like water, and it called indigestion and diarrhea. Next is trichonympha. Uh, I was telling you about the Monera present in the gut of ruminants, isn't it? So trichonympha is present in the gut of टर्माइट्स. टर्माइट्स को पता है ना सबको, लकड़ियों में छेद करके खा जाते हैं.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
So they have a mutual relationship with the termites. They live in the gut. Termites protect them. They give them the food, and in turn, the termites तो क्या खाते हैं? wood ही खाते हैं ना. So the cellulose present in the wood is getting digested by this trichonympha. Next is Leishmania donovani. This is responsible for causing a disease called leishmaniasis or calazar. This is carried by a vector called sandfly. You should be proud to know one of the Indian, his name was Upendranath Brahmachari from Calcutta. He discovered about the reason of this disease, and his research was a breakthrough to show us the way to treat this disease. So these are different organisms. You can see Trypanosoma, Giardia, Trichonympha. These are the Trichonympha present in the gut of the insect. These are Leishmania organisms. So next is ciliated protozoa. Their locomotory organ is cilia, and they have thousands of cilia present in them, and these cilia are hair-like projection. Generally, number of cilia are always more than flagella, and they are like numerous. So they have pellicle, they have a cavity called gullet. This is something which is unique for these protozoa. It is similar to the mouth we have. The way in our mouth we can engulf food, and then with a peristaltic movement and other, it pass through the different part of our digestive system. Here they have a cavity called gullet, which is lined by lots of cilia, and the food they are gathering by the movement of cilia, as cilia can be moved, and the food can be steered through gullet so that it can be digested. So food vacuole is used for digestion of food. They have anal pore. Can you imagine one unicellular organism have gullet and anal pore? But this is the maximum we can expect from a unicellular organism. They have contractile vacuoles also. There are two types of nucleus. One is responsible to control the all like cellular activities, for example, digestion, circulation of substances, then movement of the food, and all other activities required for life is controlled by this bigger nucleus. And the smaller one is responsible for reproduction. So excellent possible division of labor in unicellular organisms. They can be going by for binary fission. They can be go for budding, cyst formation, and they can have the sexual reproduction by conjugation. Example is paramecium. This is the diagram, and this is the electron microscopic image. So you can see this is the large nucleus, and this is the gullet. This is the anal pore. So this is how like cilia are like present across the whole body. So these are the contractile vacuole. This is the micronucleus, food vacuole. So any doubt up to this? Should we go to sporozoa? organisms which cannot move, protozoa which cannot move. Yes, beta?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Nidhi, you have any doubt, Nidhi?
No, ma'am.
Great. So we will move ahead with sporozoa. So they are very diverse parasitic organisms, and like sporozoas, why call them sporozoa? Because they are basically parasitic organisms. Most of them. Rarely are sporozoas which are not parasitic, and they are having infectious structure called spore, which is responsible for infection. So इसीलिए क्या होता है? We call them sporozoa. Zoa because they are animal like, and sporo because they have spore. So as they are parasitic, they get everything ready-made from their host. So they don't require actually digestion or digestive part. They don't require to move. Okay. So cell is very simple. It has pellicle or cuticle. Now for each of them in their life cycle, two hosts are there. Host means जिनके अंदर ये live करते हैं. Out of them, the one which where we go for sexual reproduction is called primary host, and the one in which sexual reproduction is not done is called secondary host. For example, an example of this is malarial parasite. Which organism causes malaria? Anyone?
Plasmodium.
Yes, correct part called Plasmodium. Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, or Plasmodium falciparum. So all these Plasmodium are nothing but sporozoa. So for we know that who can be the alternate host? कौन-कौन host होंगे मलेरिया के parasite की? Who will the host? Who will be the host of malarial parasite? Class? अरे बोलो किनके अंदर वो रहते हैं मलेरियल पैरासाइट? एक होस्ट की तो नेम बोलो. यस यशवी.
Ma'am, they are host on human bodies.
Yes, we are one of the host. It lives inside us, no, to cause the disease. Who will be the other host?
Mosquitoes.
Done. So in mosquito, it completes its sexual reproduction. So primary host will be mosquito, and the human being is the part where they go for asexual reproduction. So we are the secondary host. Understood? So the one which is carrying disease from one human to another is called vector also. They are carriers of the diseases. But they do not get affected by themselves. मच्छर को कभी मलेरिया नहीं होता है. Okay, so they form spores, and these spores can pass from one host to another host. One host may be ticks or mosquitoes. Another host may be human, and there is the guru of all sporozoas, that is Plasmodium. Let me tell you, the malaria can be life-claiming also. There is a deadly version of malaria called Plasmodium, caused by Plasmodium falciparum, which is called malignant malaria. If not detected earlier, the person will definitely die. So it is carried by female Anopheles mosquito, and it causes fever, series of fevers. So this is, you can see inside RBC the Plasmodium is growing inside the RBC, and this is the Plasmodium life cycle. I'm not going to talk about it in detail. Anyways, we are going to study it in detail in grade 12. But just for your idea that when mosquito is biting anyone, okay, so it is actually first going to liver, देखो मॉस्किटो ने स्पोरोजॉइट्स दिया, इट इज गोइंग टू लिवर, देन इट इज गोइंग टू रेड ब्लड सेल, एंड जब रेड ब्लड सेल में ये ग्रो होने लगता है, रेड ब्लड सेल बर्स्ट, इट विल सीक्रेट अ टॉक्सिन जिसकी वजह से फीवर आता है. And if a second mosquito is drinking blood from us, the gametocytes, that is the gametes produced in the RBC, will be uptaken by the mosquito, and then inside the mosquito's gut, the gametes will fuse to form the oocyst, which is then converting into sporozoites, and the sporozoites are present in the salivary gland, and if that mosquito is biting a healthy individual, it will inject the sporozoite inside. So that is how the life cycle is taking place. You don't have to remember the names of the stages, but at least try and think about a rough idea about the life cycle. Now, last but not the least, fungus-like proteins. They are having quite similar properties of a fungus, and they are, that's why called slime molds. Okay, slime mold, slime because they have slimy appearance, and they are the major decomposers like fungus. They are responsible for decomposition only. But some of them can be parasitic or phagocytic. What do we mean by phagocytosis? Class, have you heard about this word, phagocytosis?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's
What is
occur in
it?
amoeba.
So food engulfment by amoeba is the process, phagocytosis. In fact, all cells have it. I told you about phagocytosis and pinocytosis in the cell chapter. You can refer the lecture video. So they can be unicellular. Okay. The body can have anthracene, which can give them a specific shape. They can be like forming an aggregation. They are unicellular, but they can collectively present to make a structure which is called plasmodium. So it may grow and spread over several feet. You can understand. So आप देखो है तो ये unicellular but form structures like plasmodium, which is a step toward multicellularity. Unfavorable condition में plasmodium differentiates and form fruiting bodies, which is very much similar to fungus. After this protozoa, we will talk about fungus only. At that time, we will know. So these fruiting bodies will have spores at the tip, and the spores produce two wall, and spores are extremely resistant. They are resistant to heat, they are resistant to adverse condition, for example, lack of food, lack of water, and they can survive like that for years. Once the condition is favorable, they will again germinate to give rise to the new form of slime mold. Okay, so spores are dispersed by the air current, and they reproduce by fragmentation and spore formation. So this is how slime molds look. This is the plasmodium structure you can see. The unicellular organisms, obviously you cannot identify, but they aggregate to form this filament-like structure, which is made up of slime molds. So that's all about protista. Anyone, any doubts? Class?
No, ma'am.
So we will move ahead with the next, that is fungi. So in fungi, we will discuss in detail about different terminologies of reproduction, because generally in NCERT, they never explain what is zoospore, but they use the word zoospore. so it will be a bit confusing for children. So we will now start with the next kingdom, that is fungi. Fungus, fungi in plural. So these are diverse type of fungi can be visible around us. You can see some of them can be really beautiful, but trust me, they can be deadly also. Okay, so what are the characteristics? This is a unique kingdom because all organisms of this kingdom are heterotrophic. There is no one who is autotrophic, similar to animal. But it has similarity with the plant also, that it is having a cell wall. These fungi can be unicellular like yeast, or they can be multicellular like penicillium. So they actually are saprophytes, and they can be parasitic or symbiotic also. But majorly they are saprophytic. So in ecosystem, their role is very important because biogeochemical cycles are maintained by them. So they are cosmopolitan because they present everywhere: air, water, soil, animals, plants. अभी कौन सी फंगी को लेके सबसे ज्यादा बात हो रही है in corona period?
Ma'am, mucormycosis.
So have you ever seen mucormycosis?
No, ma'am.
सभी ने देखा होगा बेटा, इट इज अ वेरी कॉमन फंगी. आप एक ब्रेड की पीस लीजिएगा, स्प्रे इट विथ वाटर एंड कीप इट इन अ डैम्प प्लेस. आप देखोगे उसके ऊपर ब्लैक ब्लैक पैचेस जम जाते हैं. दैट इज व्हाट इज म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस. मम्मी को पूछना, कभी हम ब्रेड को अगर बहुत दिनों तक रख दे, उसके ऊपर ब्लैक ब्लैक पैचेस, पाउडरी पैचेस जम जाते हैं. दैट इज नथिंग बट म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस. अब क्वेश्चन ये आता है, तो फिर हम डरते क्यों है इतनी म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस से, है ना? हमारे चारों ओर रहता है वो. बच्चे मिट्टी में खेलते हैं, उनको कुछ नहीं होता है. इट इज ऑल द गेम ऑफ इम्यून सिस्टम. I have seen corona, people who had corona. I can share my experience. एक कोरोना पेशेंट के हाथ से मैंने खाना खाया था, and I ate in the afternoon. Next evening she called me and told me कि ma'am, I am detected COVID positive. I was isolated for 14 days, and I was never COVID positive by God's grace. So it depends partially your luck, and second is your immune system. So we should not be scared of diseases. We should know about them, and we should try and find out the solution, isn't it? So fungi we know they are like pests because we hate them. Why? Because they spoil the food. है ना? कई बार लेदर के पर्स पे फंगस की ग्रोथ हो जाती है. Like it is quite a nuisance in our life, but we should not say. They are helpful for us because they recycle the substances. Okay, now they actually require moisture for their growth. So fungi are rarely present in low temperature areas or very dry areas. Like desert, it is impossible to find out fungus. Okay, so mostly they are multicellular, and they have chitin in their cell wall. But unicellular fungi are there also. For example, yeast. Okay, so they have, as they are multicellular, so cells are connected with each other to form a thread-like structure like this. So these are composed of small cells lined like this. This thread-like structure is called hyphae. And many such hyphae are forming an interwoven structure like this. This is called mycelia. Okay. So mycelium is nothing but interwoven network of hyphae. So hyphae can be of two types. Sometimes what happens is in a hyphae, if you consider this is a hyphae, and in each hyphae there are, consider in this case 5 cells are there. Bysum means the cell wall of these cells are getting dissolved. So what will happen? It will be converted into a single big hyphae with many nucleus, isn't it? Yes or no? Then we call this type of hyphae as aseptate hyphae. Aseptate. Why aseptate? Septa means the wall between two cells, and aseptate because no septate, no septa is there. So we call it aseptate hyphae. Okay, and the cells are having continuous tubes. So it is a multicellular cell. We call them sinusoidal cell. Look into the pronunciation sinusoid, but spelling is different. Okay, their storage food material is either glycogen or oil droplet. So this is the structure. You can see these are the hyphae. This is the mycelium. This is the aseptate hyphae, and this is the septate hyphae. So these are some common examples of fungus that we can see around us. Stale bread fungi called mucor, I told you also. Sometimes in our food, if we are not habit of cleaning our foot regularly and we are wearing socks and we are not washing socks also, along with the foul smell, we have disease like athlete's foot. And trust me, you should never ever have the fungal disease. इतनी लंबी medication लगता है because of they have spores. If you are applying medication, the symptoms will go away. The moment you are stopping medication, again they will come back. So you need to have a prolonged course of meditation. So it is always like suggested to not to get in touch with the fungus in a positive way. So, but it's not all bad. Like Pakshinia is there, which is called causing rust disease in plants. So let me tell you, in our India, जो harvest होता है उसका maximum loss is due to this different types of fungal infection. But some fungi are really good. We cannot imagine any bakery product and alcohol with yeast. Yeast is the baker's yeast, which is responsible for giving that foamy appearance. आपने छोटे grade में तो पढ़ा होगा ना about the fluffiness of bread.
Yes.
Yes,
So it is by the yeast. और जिनके घर में बनता होगा cakes and other things, like अब धीरे धीरे क्या होते हैं breads that we buy from market, they have so many things which are not healthy. So many a times I see people who are making bread at their home. So they add these dried yeast tablets. Similarly, yeast can be used for making alcohol. And we know the first discovered antibiotic because it was a big challenge. आप अगर हार्श केमिकल यूज करोगे तो बैक्टीरिया तो मरेंगे, बट उसके साथ हम भी मरेंगे. हम सबको पता है कि डेटॉल यूज करने से इन्फेक्शन नहीं होता है, बट कैन वी ड्रिंक डेटॉल? समझो सर्दी खांसी हो गई है किसी को, क्या वो एक ग्लास डेटॉल पी सकता है टू क्लीन आवर इनसाइड पार्ट? मर जाएंगे हम भाई. सो व्हाट वी शुड टेक एंटीबायोटिक, isn't it? So antibiotic is something which is specific, which will act on the harmful microorganism. It will not cause any harm to you. So there are some sources of antibiotic, and the first one is penicillium, discovered by Alexander Fleming. You know, it was an accident. He never thought of discovering penicillin. This type of accidental discovery is called serendipity. Actually, he was working on bacteria and he needs to go somewhere. So what he did, he kept his bacterial cultures in the lab and went out. When he returned, he saw that all his bacterial cultures are dead and there is growth of some unknown organisms in the medium. So अगर हमारे जैसे common man होता तो फिर maybe they were like he were complaining कि भाई क्या हो गया मेरे साथ, मेरी तो किस्मत ही खराब है. But he was a true scientist. He thought कि ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि बैक्टीरिया मर गए. What is the reason? Let me try and find out the characteristics of this fungi, and he discovered that penicillium is able to produce life-saving medicine and antibiotic, which is called penicillin. And it saved so many lives during World Wars, you know. So this is something, these are different types of edible mushroom. I must say some of them are sold in lakhs. एक मशरूम की डिश की प्राइस कई लाख रुपीस. कैन यू इमेजिन? ये जो ट्रफल है ना, they are very costly mushroom. It is a delicacy and human cannot find them. It is found by pigs. They can smell and find out. और जो pigs को ये ट्रफल फाइंड आउट करने की एबिलिटी होती है वो फिर लाखों में बिकती है. Okay, strange things we have around us. So this is athlete food. I told you na, if you are not habit of washing your socks, one day your foot can be turned into, it's ugly actually. And this is the fungus causing this disorder. This is the typical yeast cell, and this is the rust disease. They have spores. The spores are having रस्ट कलर, इसीलिए ऐसा लगता है कि वीट के लीव्स में रस्ट लग गया है. Isn't it looking like rust? So that is all about rusting of wheat. This is Penicillium colony. White border. आप खाना रख दोगे ना तो उसमें इस तरीके के भी ग्रोथ होते हैं. But don't try to eat that food क्योंकि उसमें दूसरी चीजें भी होंगी. पता चला कि किसी को लगा पेनिसिलियम ग्रो हो गया है, let me eat that part. So it's not correct. So reproduction in fungus is a very vast part. We will deal it in our next lecture. So I'm going to stop my lecture over here today. Today we studied a lot, isn't it? So I want anyone to give me the highlights what we studied today. Who is going to give? The highlights of today's lecture. You want me to tell? Class? Okay, I will tell, no problem. So today we studied about Protista, and we observed that Protista are unicellular but eukaryotic organisms. And in Protista, we studied that as they are connecting link, they may have some Protista which are similar to plants. We call them plant-like protists. There are animal-like protists which are known as protozoa, and they are fungal-like protists which are called slime mold. So, can anyone tell me what are plant-like protists? Names of plant-like protists?
Euglenoids.
Euglenoid.
Very good. Then euglenoids, diatoms can be there, isn't it? Then chrysophytes can be there. Next is animal-like protists are called protozoa, depending on their locomotory organ, present, absent. If present, what type? We can classify them into 4 types. Sporozoites, ciliated protozoa, or we call them zooprotozoas. Then flagellated protozoas, and the last one is sarcodines, which are having pseudopodia in them. Okay, so mostly sarcodines are parasitic, and many of them are causing various disease. We talked about each of them. Then last is slime mold. After completion of slime mold, we started the third kingdom of our classification system, that is fungi. The difference between fungi and protozoa is protozoa are always unicellular. Fungi can be unicellular or multicellular. Protozoa may be autotrophic, heterotrophic. Fungi is always heterotrophic. And they have cell wall. In this cell wall, they have chitin, which is a characteristic features of fungi. So fungi can be of various types. And we know that their filament-like body is called hyphae. Hyphae are forming a network-like structure which is called mycelium. So next lecture we will study about the reproduction of fungi, and then we will take a brief idea about plant and animal kingdom. Why brief idea? Because chapter number 3 is plant kingdom classification and chapter number 4 is animal kingdom classification. So by default, we are going to study about them there in detail. So here we are going to talk about only the brief ideas. Okay. And then we will talk about the, I can say entity. I should not use the word organism because we cannot call it an organism, which shattered the idea of five kingdom classification and added up one extra kingdom as its part, that is virus. We will talk about virus. And so many doubts you can have about COVID because it is talk of town and it is changed our life and created new normals. You can ask me over there. Okay. So with this, I am concluding today's class. Anyone, any question, beta? Class?
No.
So I will. So it's a very good night wish from me, and go through the video lecture. You will learn a lot. So bye.